Thanks for connecting day one and welcome to day two, second edition of Dementia Webinar 2020. Myself, Anna Baker, Conference Executive of Dementia Conference. Thanks for connecting again. I request all the participants to mute their laptops or mobile phones in order to have a clear audio of speakers. On a special note, I would like to thank again all our collaborators, especially Thilo Side from USA and St. Joseph God Hospital from Italy. I come from Ruthenia. Me, along with my manager, Mr. Krishna, would be happy to assist with you in this webinar. And I would like to introduce, it would be my pleasure to introduce our chair for day one, Dr. Anjana Agarwal, nutritionist and aromatherapist from India. Dr. Anjana Agarwal is a nutritionist and the author of the textbook of Human Nutrition 2014. She has done her graduation and post-graduation from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Patnanagar in 1980, followed by working as a research associate. Based on the work, she joined PhD in Lady Irwin College, New Delhi, having SRF from CSIR. Next, she headed the department in SBS Biomedical Institute, Dehradun. After a few years, she went to Mumbai and got associated with SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, to teach food science and nutrition in various capacities, and also worked as nutritionist in TISS Mumbai. In between, she worked as a product development in charge in MMNP project in Mumbai that was a collaboration of Southampton, UK. Her research work is published in national and international journals. She is also an aromatherapist based on her PhD work and advanced training in aromatherapy. She had delivered several talks on various platforms, including international seminars, and her title would be Can Early Inclusion of Nutrition and Aromatherapy Prevent Alzheimer's Disease? Thank you. Can you...
Dr. Anjana, would you like me to present your slides or you will be doing it?
I'll do it. If
Okay,
not possible, then I'll connect with you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anna, Mr. Krishna, and the Confrontiers, and all the viewers and listeners, and welcome the second day of Dementia Conference from Confrontiers. Thank you so much. Your heart gives you circulation and brings life to your physical body, and your brain gives you cognition, thinking, and ignite your mind to move your physical body. I'll begin with a small, very live example. I keep seeing people with Alzheimer's around myself and around in the society also. I remember a gentleman who takes his wife to the park daily, holding his hand at the age of 84. And another stranger used to watch them regularly, and out of curiosity, they asked the gentleman, "You are bringing her daily, and she does not recognize you, she does not respond you." Gentleman smiled and said to him that she only does not recognize me for 3 years, but I recognize her for last 60 years. So this is the kind of love, support, and empathy Alzheimer patients requires. So this is the basic things which people are looking for, and let us see what today different experts are sharing with us. Ms. Anna Baker has very nicely introduced me. This is basically now the another edition of my textbook of human nutrition is in press. And besides, I'm also very busy with the development of educational videos for Government of India SWAYAM platform and nutrition counseling, or my website is Nutroma. As she introduced the title of today, can early inclusion of nutrition and aromatherapy prevent Alzheimer's disease? I am Dr. Anjana Agarwal, nutritionist and aromatherapist, and my website is nutroma.in and Gmail is dranjanaagarwal@gmail.com. And today's offerings are introduction, clinical symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, role of nutrients in brain functions, mind, diet, MIND, aromatherapy, and certain episodes or evidence or research on the effect of essential oils in AD patients, and certain tips for aromatherapy and dietary interventions to delay the AD process. I'm not basically the physiological person or sometime, but only I'm connecting the disease and the nutrient network, how they work on it. So please pardon me if somewhere technically on the disease aspects I may go away. So to my understanding, Alzheimer's disease or AD is a progressive decline in cognitive functions and cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are different, which has been learned throughout the life as a habit or habitual activity, resulting in partial or permanent loss of memory. AD is irreversible and is there a pathological health condition which is often diagnosed in old age, but it is not a normal effect of normal aging process. So it is clear that everybody in aging does not get the Alzheimer. So you are happy with this? So this is a normal and Alzheimer disease. So you can see the drastic change in the brain structure, and let us see what are the activities which are affected. The disorientation, vision, coordination, mood changes, memory loss, behavioral issues, and gradual loss of ability to perform daily activities. And this is the real problem where we are very much aware as well as worried Hello, sir.
Yes, doctor, we can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry for the inconvenience. This light went off. Now it is back.
It's
Let me connect my slide again. It is showing it is shared, but it is not visible. I think I have to reconnect the thing. Now is it visible?
yes, yes. It is visible.
Okay. I'm very sorry to all the participants and the organizer for this inconvenience, which is not in my hand.
It's okay, Anjana. No problem. Not an issue.
Okay. So I'll continue with the kind of symptoms of what happens during the AD conditions. There is a loss of cell-to-cell communication at the synaptic junction in the brain, accumulation of abnormal tau proteins, formation of senile plaques and beta amyloid plaques, oxidative stress, inflammatory processes, and cholinergic deficit or the low acetylcholine, which enhances the memory. Let us see what at the first moment only loss of memory we should not understand there is a patient of AD. What can also happen in impairment of memory, there is a simple forgetfulness and we keep worrying many a time because that event or that activity we have not registered in our brain and then we find difficulty in recalling. And that is not a dementia or forgetfulness or memory loss. We must understand that also. But further, there are various reasons. List of reasons are there, but I'm just connecting very few of them of dementia. When we're reading the nutrition, earlier 40 years ago also we learned the word dementia and that was very common in certain micronutrients deficiency cases, particularly the vitamin B1, B3 or niacin, B6, etc. And there is senile dementia that is due to age also, or in cases of sarcopenia, in cases of frailty, we find that there is a natural form of dementia. And there are various other traumatic situations in life or physiologically there can be the onset of dementia. But there are certain physiological or pathological conditions where we find short-term memory loss. In short-term memory loss, what happens? We do not remember the recent events or episodes, but we remember the things which had happened long ago back. But at the same time, we also have in some patients, particularly the AD patients, the short-term memory loss as well as the long-term memory loss. And how it proceeds? It maybe they tend to forget use of items where they have kept it. And earlier they used to kept it at one place, but now they do not remember that also. People tend to lost in the places where used to go earlier. There was lot of incoordination in motor activities in daily or habitual tasks. I told you earlier also the cognitive skills are getting declining day by day. They fail to recognize the well-known faces, even the names of the loved one. And there is a confusion, language problem. Even we have seen with AD patient, they have eaten the food and they after few minutes only they forget whether they have eaten or not. Clinical features of AD is memory loss, that is one thing, but there is a cognitive impairment, language disorders, and difficulty to make the decisions is very much common in these patients. There are drastic and sudden changes in mood and behavior. They can be either totally mute or they can be very aggressive at different times. There is a disorientation of time and space. This is also very common. difficulty in doing the habitual daily activity. That can be the holding the spoon, wearing the clothes, going to the personal hygiene, and all these things are there. But there are certain therapies in addition to new medication which may not cure the or reverse the disease, but it can or they can prevent or slow the progression of the disease. That is one thing at the physiological level, but at the same time, they can improve the ability of the person to function as normal as possible or improve the quality of life. First, we will talk about what can be done and should be done as a nutrition therapy. See, brain is full of millions of neurons are there and they keep on communicating, and that is very important. And each synaptic junction, they keep on using the neurotransmitters. And that capacity to communicate at that synaptic junctions or cell signaling is very, very important, and because that facilitates the learning and memory. And how these are looking for the activity of memory, I'll just use the nutrients and neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are primarily made by the amino acids. Several vitamins and minerals are present in their structure and in their functioning. Another part of the nerve is the cell membrane, which we call it myelin sheath. There is a synapses and there are many other dendrites, axon, vesicles, etc., and which uses the various kinds of lipids. That may be the phospholipids, sphingolipids, and omega fatty acids, choline, etc. Let us see the role of nutrients in normal aging brain. That will help us to understand what is the difference of role of nutrients with the AD brain. So as I just now said, they play a significant role in formation of neurotransmitter and their functioning, myelin sheath, etc. And that is how it supports the brain functioning in different parts of the brain, particularly the hippocampus, which is a seat of learning and memory, and other parts of the brain. It provides the structure and functional maintenance, cell-to-cell communication through synapses, where the problem really comes in or begins with, and through modulation of ion channels, receptors, and enzymes. And that is how it provides the necessary nutrients to the brain. And that should be the regular feature for the provision of required nutrients for the brain functions. If there are deficient, then problem may come, and if it is insufficient amount at regular conditions or regularly provision of nutrients which is required, that will reduce the burden of amyloids and tau proteins. That will provide the antioxidants to reduce the oxidative stress, reduce the impairment of short-term memory, and modulate the ion channels, receptors in synapses and enzymes, and particularly, for example, inhibitory action on enzyme acetylcholine esterase, and thereby increasing the acetylcholine or increase the memory function. This you can relate to just now. I have 2 slides back. I've taught you or said that what happens with these things. What are the crucial nutrients for the brain? Of course, the amino acids, GABA, glucose, because the brain is 24 hours hungry for the glucose. And that is very, very important. And that is why we said that because of the diabetes or hyperglycemia, the person has the high risk for neurological disorders also, including the AD. Lipids are very important, as I just now said. The myelin sheath or the cell membrane of the neurons are made up of lipids, particularly the phospholipids, ALA, EPA, or DHA. Folate, vitamin B12, choline, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, iron, copper, flavonoids, polyphenols, carotenoids, particularly the lutein, beta carotene. And we must not use the trans fat, saturated fats, excess copper, iron, aluminum, etc. We'll keep talking about these things. Certain foods which may be effective in reducing the oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is very, very crucial, not only for the neurological diseases, but all kinds of diseases. Maybe the heart disease, maybe your inflammation. So we have to be very careful how we can prevent that using avocado, beetroot, broccoli, citrus fruits, kiwis, spirulina, turmeric, olive oil, all these kinds of foods you can include in your diet. Considering a different kind of foods available to us, it has been designed called Mind Diet. We have talked in earlier also in last conference with Confrontiers. It is Mediterranean intervention for neurogenerative delay. That means it is a combination of Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet. This diet basically is a combination, because DASH diet, we keep providing the whole grains and the lots of colorful vegetables. I too much stress on the color in the plate. And it is primarily designed for the patients of hypertension, for cardiac patients. And Mediterranean diet has been devised to control all types of physiological maladies, and which has been found very effective. Let us see in Mind Diet what has been suggested. The whole grain cereals only 4 or 5 times per week. This we are talking about per serving, and according to different countries, these has been suggested at different amounts per serving, as we have one cereal serving 30 grams per serving. So green leafy vegetables are very, very important. That means it has to be taken daily. Other vegetables 2 to 3 times daily. That means if you take approximately 500 to 700 grams of green leafy vegetables and other vegetables, that should be the minimum amount in your plate. Beans and legumes, they must be processed very well. This is important. They are very good source of vegetarian protein or vegetable source of protein, but they also contain some of the compounds like lactans or oligosaccharide. They may not suit your gut, may not suit some of the individuals, and they find difficult to consume the beans for particularly the old age person due to the gas formation of flatulence. Berries, particularly the blueberries, 2 to 5 servings per week are essential to maintain the better neurological conditions. Nuts and sweets, that means only 2 to 5 servings per week are enough. They can be had. Sweets must be less, very less. And butter and olive oil, that can be taken 1 tablespoon, more than that per day at least, because we need lot of fat in your diet to prevent the dementia, or we can say the neurological disorders. As I told you and keep telling you, the myelin sheath or your body cell membrane requires the fat because it is made up of fatty acids, or the good quality fatty acids. Fish, poultry, lean meat, only 1, 2, 3 servings per week, respectively. And the wine, in certain countries, wine, particularly the red wine, is suggested because of the lot of resveratrol or the polyphenols and phytochemical which has been found very effective in controlling certain kinds of pathologies. I'm talking about the fat again and again. So let us understand why the fat is important, but any kind of fat is not required. Why we are talking about fat? It is a constituent of neuronal cell membrane or the myelin sheath. It is a precursor for cell signaling. It is present in high concentration in the brain. Hence, it is required for cognitive functions, protective for age-related diseases, inflammation, and oxidative stress. Here you are seeing the three names, ALA, EPA, and DHA, which I mentioned earlier also. ALA is a plant source alpha-linolenic acid, which is converted to EPA and DHA in our body. EPA and DHA is directly found in the marine sources, in sardines, in fish, fatty fish particularly, but those who are on the vegetarian diet, but then they need to take good amount of alpha-linolenic acid and our body will convert it. Hence, the ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acid is very, very important because both kinds of fatty acids competes at desaturation enzyme at the cell membrane level. If you take high amount of omega-3 fatty acid that is available in your vegetable oil, and which is why it is wrong, because it hampers the conversion of alpha-linolenic acid into the EPA and DHA, and that is why it will decrease the level of good quality fatty acid. And second important reason, if you eat more amount of vegetable oil or omega-6, and that you will have more pro-inflammatory compounds like prostaglandin 2 series, leukotrienes, and other things, and that will increase the risk of cardiovascular and neurodegenerative disorders. On the contrary, omega-3 works opposite of omega-6 that will produce anti-inflammatory compounds of prostaglandin series 1 and 3 and LB5 and LPA, thromboxane 3. And then how much should be the ratio? Ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 can be 2:1, 3:1, or maximum 5:1, but not more than. However, unfortunately, we are consuming even 20:1 or 12:1. So the results is there in the society. So omega-6 sulfur oil can easily be replaced with the flaxseed oil or other oil. And while we are Indian cooking use lot of oil during the cooking, but cooking should be done with the fats and oils having the high smoke point. Medium chain fatty acids are also good to consume, that is found in coconut oil. Olive oil is also good example, and mustard oil is also good example that will provide you sufficient amount of medium chain fatty acids or MUFA. Avocado, almond oil are very good for the health, but they are expensive for culinary purposes. You cannot fry our things in avocado or almond oil. Technically, we can fry, but due to its cost, we may not use it. And never use the hydrogenated fat because it contains trans fat, and everybody by now who is listening knows the trans fats are bad. But recently we have learned our Indian ghee, butter are rather good in spite of having the saturated fats in them, because they contain good amount of other compounds also which are beneficially. See here, what I want to say here, when you are taking your food or designing your food plate, then you must add lot of colors and pigments, because each pigment, for example, carotenoids is a pigment found in yellow, orange, red foods, which is a good source of vitamin A and give you a lot of health benefits. On the contrary, when you eat the black grapes or blueberries or the beet, then you have lot of anthocyanin pigment in that. That also has lot of health benefits. When you eat green leafy vegetables, green grapes, broccoli, it contains lot of chlorophyll in this, and then all these pigments are performing the activity of antioxidants also. The moment we use the word antioxidant, you can use the same thing. They are reducing the oxidative stress. We have just now learned how oxidative stress gives you a lot of health problems. On the contrary, because we are talking about the aroma we sometimes feel like only the fragrance, but the combination of fragrance and flavor, we use one word, aroma. These are two things. Now I'll take you the design of brain where the hippocampus is placed. It is a very small body, and because of its shape, the name has come, the hippocampus, and it is the seat for learning, seat for memory. And here the gut bacteria plays a very, very important role. If you keep eating the wrong food, then the wrong kind of bacteria may develop, and gut bacteria or the gut has been known for long as second brain. So that gut-brain axis should be maintained healthy, and you can maintain by using the colorful and aromatic compounds in your diet. Sorry, sir. What happened? Just a minute. Mind. Yes. Again, I have to share. Now, these are two models of the plate. Recently, ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research and National Institute of Nutrition from India has devised this plate. You can here see half of the plate is full of vegetables and fruits, and rest is full of pulses, nuts, fats and oils, cereals and nutraceuticals, nutri-cereals and millets. On the other hand, you find the USDA model. They also have done half of the plate full of fruits and vegetables, and rest with the grains and the protein. And you must also take water and dairy. We are talking about the oxidative stress, what they do it. Some of the antioxidants are produced in the body in presence of sufficient amount of nutrient. We must always remember this. We should not think that body will do it its own. Like sod, GSS peroxides, catalyze, and there are so many of it. These are few I have just remember, because these are the defense against the oxidative stress, and if there is there, then only it can reduce the neuronal depth and synaptic loss and improve the cell signaling and delay or arrest the memory loss in AD patients. This is very interesting to know. Antioxidant capacity can be measured, though it is done by USDA long ago by the Tufts University, and it is oxygen radical absorption capacity measured in micromole Trolex equivalent per 100 gram. Here you can see the difference of ORAC value of essential oils and foods. The clove oil has the highest ORC capacity or the highest antioxidant capacity. And in food, the blueberry has the highest. So there are some of the examples I have presented, and lemon essential oil has only the 660 ORAC, and while beetroot and other things are also having the, in comparison to the berries and the kale, strawberry, spinach is also high. And this will give you the clear picture why we use essential oils in drops only and foods in grams. Now we'll talk about the very fragrance concept and the technique aromatherapy, that is we are using here the essential oil for vibrant health. It is an age-old ancient healing art for relaxation, rejuvenation, and management of neurological disorder. You must have seen the use the essential oils for stress elevation. Let us talk how essential oils work for brain. There is a limbic system in our body, and that is mainly to prevent our loss of life, because that creates a scenario in our brain and talk to the brain, in any circumstances I have to prevent this person's life. So it gives lot of things, but there are two part, hippocampus and amygdala, that is a seat of emotion that is all together at the same place or nearby. Here you can see, and when you inhale something, it directly reaches to the limbic system, and that is how aromatherapy works. These are some of the essential oils, some of the herbs you have heard yesterday, but these are, we use it regularly for neurotransmission or handle certain cases with the stress or something like this. Basil, sage, lavender, bergamot, lemon, mandarin, rosemary, and lemon balm. Yesterday, rosemary and lemon balm herbs were used and explained how they are effective. I'll just give you the brief idea here. What is the therapeutic action and how it does? Because they are so volatile, very low in molecular weight, and that is how they can travel throughout the body in few minutes only and reaching the brain, breaking the brain-blood barrier also. They are lipidic in nature, so they can penetrate and work at the cell membrane and affect its function. They contain several secondary metabolites, which may be the antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-nociceptic, anti-stress, and so many of things are there. And they can solve the problem, emotional, behavior, nervous disorder, and they have high antioxidant capacity, as I showed you just now. I'll just share some of the researches, very recent one. Lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, were given to the Alzheimer patient and assessed with the Alzheimer disease assessment scale, or ADAS, which is a very popular one in that field. And they found that active compound of this is rosemaric acid also, and that it is also present in rosemary. And because of that, they reduce the oxidative stress and have high cholinergic activity, so they have the better effect on these patients. Another research I am showing here, the rosemary and lemon oil, because of their capacity to evaporate on some of that, so they are being used as a high note or low note, medium note in the morning and evening with the separate formulations are designed. Rosemary, lemon oil in the morning, and the same patients were given the lavender and orange oil in the evening, and they have used the FAST and TDAS assessment scale and found out very significant improvement in personal orientation related to the cognitive function after the therapy. These are some of the methods by which you can use the essential oils, maybe the inhalation, massage, bath, burning the candle or the dishwasher. In the soaking the peat, you can use these. These are some of the things you must always remember, whether you are using aromatherapy or dietary intervention. In general also, and particularly we are talking here the AD cases. Let us talk about the aromatherapy or use of the essential oils. They must be chosen very wisely, and doses is very important. As I told you, if you use excess of day, because many people have the idea, if I use the more amount of oil, that will benefit me more, but that is not the case at all. So you dilute the essential oils with the carrier oil, and they are highly concentrated. Even if one drop of thyme oil or some oil falls on your skin directly, that may irritate you and keeps giving you burning oil. And eye should be protected always. And for the therapeutic purpose, use the therapeutic grade only, not go by your fragrance, but go by the grade. And all take precautions wherever and whatever is needed. Comes to the dietary intervention, then eat variety of foods from each food group. Follow mind diet. I've given the list how much you should take it. Avoid fried food, because while frying, even if you are using the very good oil, some people have experienced using the olive extra virgin oil for the frying. It becomes the very spoiled oil like a trans fat or hydrogenated oil, because at high heat, the composition of oil or fatty acid composition of the oil becomes very, very ineffective, or the burning oil, and it is very harmful for the health. Cut down all the refined material from your diet, particularly the sugar, refined oils, and refined fruits. Limit the salt intake and drink enough water and fluids throughout the day. Thank you for listening and paying attention to it. So this is the book we have just talked about, which contains a lot of information about the nervous system, energy metabolism, and nutrition in all life stages. It is also talking about 300 food ingredients of its nutritional significance and its significance of health, food processing, and newer concepts in health and nutrition. So today is the day to learn something new as we are talking about. You can see the full plate, aroma oils, how brain is getting ignited and recovering the healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your talk, doctor. Any questions for Dr. Anjana Agarwal? Any questions for Dr. Anjana Agarwal?
You can write in chat box also, or you can write in the.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
It was very informative, and I wanted to know, like, how to increase the metabolism. Is there any like aromatherapy available, or do you only think with the diet only you have to do?
See what happens. What is metabolism? Is the rate of functioning of your inner body.
Correct.
Right? And when you do not have sufficient amount of oxygen, circulation, and sufficient amount of nutrients, then there is a problem. And how will you get it? You can have lot of circulation through providing sufficient amount of nutrients, like sufficient amount of minerals like iron, selenium, zinc. Most of the people are having deficiencies of these micronutrients, and then their thyroid is not functioning well, or their system is not. Then and overall, when I just now talked about the ratio of the fatty acids, and they are consuming lots of trans fats, lot of refined flours, and that is reducing their biological capacity to inner antioxidant capacity, or the conversion of the compound which is required for higher rate of thing. And then the people are today working by sitting only, they are not moving their muscles. So muscles have forgotten to do their work. And that is how they're, with regard to the aromatherapy,
Hmm.
that will help you to make you more stress-free. And
Okay.
because and when you are stress-free, you are motivated to more work. So that is
Right.
how both things should go hand in hand to make you more metabolically good person, and you can do your job better.
I would like to ask, like, I need a suggestion. Like, I presented for the physiological coherence. So, to use the similar kind of a thing along with the aromatherapy, what do you suggest for the stress, anxiety, and depression and feeling state?
I'll suggest three things here.
Tea tree.
One, your
Yeah.
food, which should be the nutritionally dense.
Hmm.
Second, aromatherapy. And third, the exercise. Because without exercise, we cannot do anything. Because my
No, that is
colleague
that is a different thing. But when
that
I
is not a different thing. Let me tell you here. That is not a different thing at all, as people consider it.
No. What I'm asking is, when I'm collecting data, when
Yes.
I am recording their heart rate variability to induce more relaxation, what kind of aromatherapy can I use? That is what I'm asking.
You can, which age?
Youth between 20 and 30.
Okay. Then in that case, you can use the rosewood, you can use the rosemary combination, you can use the simple lavender oil.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That is what I like. When I'm collecting data,
Yes.
when
So,
there's
but you
either.
have to be very clear here, only fragrance, because this is a very sensitive area and very, I'll say, lot of adulteration is there. So for therapeutic use,
Huh.
we must be very careful about the dose. We must be very careful from the source of the aromatic oil or the essential oils.
But if I am just using it as an infusion, like, just keep burn it.
This does not matter at all.
Acha, there also you have to be very careful with the dose.
Yes. You can't put a 5 ml in a, for example, I'll give you, there is a room of 12 by 14 and you want
Right.
to infuse, you can say on the, what you say, on the aromatic oil on the lamp, right? For variety of aromatic lamps are coming in the market right now.
Right.
And, you have purchased aromatic fragrance oil as the common person. He does not know even what is aromatherapy, but he is selling it. And you
Correct.
have bought that oil, but you do not know whether it is a pure oil or not. Because nowadays, lot of aromatic compounds can be isolated and will give you the more of the fragrance.
So
But
what do
it
you
will not
recommend?
give you the effect, and that fragrance might cause lot of otherwise problem,
Correct.
nausea, anxiety,
Yeah.
and if it is not pure.
So
That care has to be taken.
so what do you suggest? Like, I mean, like, I am completely new to the aromatherapy. So how do I purchase this lavender oil or
You
something
have to
from?
find
How do I
out
make
the
out that whether it
category
is
group.
pure or not?
You need, right? You are saying there is nothing, but you have to find out the thing whether this oil is from the therapy. You have to do a lot of search for this.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
but this is essential to know that that should be therapeutic purpose. The grade should be therapeutic only, because the isolates and others may. I'll give you an example. Rose fragrance is liked by most of us, right?
Yeah.
And you can find the rose oil with the soap also, with the shampoo also, and with other things also, right?
Right.
Do you think they use the pure essential oil in that rose oil?
No. Because otherwise it will not be so cheap.
Yes. So you got
Agree.
it?
Yeah.
So rose oil per kg goes in lakhs. If you
Oh.
drop of rose oil counts
Yeah.
more than 100 rupees.
Oh, wow. I
So it
agree.
is not necessary. And when you take a, because I have done a lot of work around it, and when you have tasted the rose oil pure and rose oil the absolute, it is so bad. I will tell you, when I chosen the concentrated form of that, we call it absolute.
Right.
So getting my point. So
Yes.
where do you stay?
I am from Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. So please,
Yeah.
ma'am, you will definitely get it.
Yeah. And where are you from, doctor?
I'm right now, I worked for aromatherapy during my PhD from Lady Irwin College, Delhi, and did my aromatherapy courses from Mumbai. And there I taught approximately 30 workshops training the people in aromatherapy.
Oh, so
And
you
that is
live in,
how
right now you live in Delhi.
right now I'm in Indrapuram near Noida.
Okay.
Okay, and wherever
Nice talking to
patients
you.
come, then I take consultation and train the people if they want.
Okay. Nice talking to you. Thank you, doctor.
Same here. Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you.
You can take the further email and go ahead.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Anjana. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Shilpa.
very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Confrontiers, Krishna, and everybody to give me the chance to speak on this.
So we will be sharing the Dr. Anjana Agarwal over the chat email ID. So that any queries regarding Dr. Anjana, you can drop a line.
Yeah.
So any more queries? So Anna, can we go for a break for 5 minutes so that we can continue our next session with Huang Willing?
Yes, Mr. Krishna.
Yeah.